Let's check in with Turning Point's White House correspondent, Monica Paige, at the White House. Monica, big day as it always is over at the White House. Bibi Netanyahu is in town. What came out of the, I think you said fourth meeting between the Prime
Yep.
Minister of Israel and the President of the United States?
Yeah, Monday kicking off to a very hot start here. Of course, the Prime Minister of Israel here, the president making a major announcement, a 20 to 21 point peace plan. Of course, we saw the Abraham Accords during his first term, but
Mm.
this is a totally new approach to things because this war has been ravaging on for way too long. Both sides are still fighting each other, and the president is quite honestly sick of it, and so are the American people. So he outlined this plan. It was posted all over social media just recently. Essentially, I'm not going to lay out each point because we'd be
Yeah.
here forever, but to kind of summarize it, it's an immediate end to the war, which means the Israeli defensive forces would kind of wean their way out of the region, gradually moving out, withdrawing from the Gaza Strip completely over time. Within 72 hours, all hostages that are both dead or alive have to be released within 72 hours. It also kind of outlines a pathway for economic development in the region as well, which is a little bit different. But the president doubled down and said that there needs to be a commitment to peace. And this plan also kind of recognizes that we could be moving in a direction where we could see a Palestinian state, which many people in Israel do not like, but many people in the Palestinian side would love. But the president is taking a very cautious approach to it and announced that he's organizing this peace board governing force in that specific region where Hamas won't have any control. No terror factors will have any control of that region, but it will be a peace board appointed by a bunch of Arab leaders, and that'll be very interesting to see if this does come to fruition. The president expects both sides to agree. Netanyahu has already agreed, but the president essentially gave Israel his blessing that if Hamas doesn't agree to this, then they've got full reign to do what they need to do to eradicate the violence that we've been seeing in the Middle East. Now, of course, the president came to this agreement kind of during the sideline talks during the UN General Assembly meeting that we saw last week. So he held those sideline conversations with Arab leaders, Middle Eastern leaders to kind of work out something that would work for everybody on both sides, including the United States. So we're looking forward to seeing if this works. I'm hoping it does. Just this morning on my way to the White House, we saw a group of activists that were peaceful, believe it or not. I know some of them outside the White House here, whenever Netanyahu is in town, are never peaceful, but they were advocating for the release of all hostages. This is just a common theme that many people feel like enough is enough. These are family members, these are people's children, husbands, wives.
Hmm.
But we did hear some protesters earlier sounding the alarms, so I'll probably go check it out in a little bit and see if they're still there and get some footage. But yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out. Last week, we were poking fun at Keir Starmer and all of the countries around the world that didn't have anything to do with all of this, but say we recognize a Palestinian state, but actually not
Yeah,
having any sort of input whatsoever. They're just trying to keep their own uh,
right.
their own local jihadis at bay. But it's interesting too that the president, yeah, is obviously taking steps to solve the problem as opposed to just making grandiose statements at the State of the Union as if they have
Right.
anything to do with the world peace. But different topic for a different time if you want to expand on that. But I think what is huge and what I think a bunch of people have been talking about for the last week is Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Said, hey, all the generals need to be in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, tomorrow. Trump is apparently going to go there as well. What can we expect ahead of this Quantico meeting, which is a bigger meeting than I think I've ever seen? But again, it could be wrong. But what's coming up here? Do you think?
Sure. Well, this was a massive meeting, and the mainstream media kind of tried to blow this up into something that it wasn't, saying this is unprecedented, something is going down, and nobody knows about it. But essentially, it's going to be about 800 generals from all around the world, and the president going to speak with them, check in with them, see how everything's going. Of course, you mentioned the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, will also be there as well. Um, they want to emphasize and celebrate the fact that warrior ethos is back. We're flexing our military muscle. We are strong on the world stage again, and the president wants to kind of celebrate with them and just make it known that we have your back, we are with you every step of the way.
Hmm.
But the president, we heard from last week in the Oval Office, one of the reporters asked the president about this meeting, And some of the members in the Oval Office were laughing at the sole fact that the mainstream media was trying to blow this up and try to make it seem like we were going to war and that, there's trouble in the waters. But what's wrong with a little bit of celebrating among our troops? Because we definitely appreciate the fact that they keep us safe every single day, especially on a global scale.
Yeah, Monica, while you were answering that, I got an update, I believe, from MSNBC saying that President Trump ate breakfast, continuing his war against food, uh,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
yeah, seems to be the case.
That sounds right.
Yeah, what's going on here? Monica Paige, Turning Point's White House correspondent, thanks so much for checking in. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.